And then this happened. Can you see this? Can you read this? This is from the Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense. They sent this out to all their residents. They put it on their homepage, and then they also put it on Facebook. And well, let me show it to you. You see this? Preparing for an imminent missile threat. I'll read some of this to you. I know I don't want to bore you, but it's not really that boring. It's remarkable, is what it is. So let's start right here. During. Listen for official information and follow instructions provided by emergency response personnel based on what is known about the threat. You may be asked to take shelter, go to a specific location, or evacuate a specific area. If an attack warning is issued, take cover as quickly as you can, under concrete structure or below ground if possible, and stay there until instructed to do otherwise. Find the nearest building, preferably built of brick or concrete, and go inside to avoid any radioactive material outside. That's one of the most interesting. Find a building, preferably built of brick or concrete, and go inside. Good plan, right? To avoid any radioactive material outside. Stay where you are, even if you're separated from your family. Inside is the safest place for all people in the impacted area. It can save your life. Expect to stay inside for at least 24 hours unless otherwise told by authorities. Now, so it has this part too, the second part. If you don't find a brick building or a concrete building, it says, if caught outside, do not look at the flash or fireball. It can blind you. Let's repeat that one. Do not look at the flash or fireball. It can blind you. I mean, it's just incredible that we're talking about this stuff. Okay, take cover behind anything that might offer protection. Lie flat on the ground and cover your head. If the explosion is some distance away, it could take 30 seconds or more for the blast wave to hit. Take shelter as soon as you can, even if you're many miles from ground zero where the attack occurred. Radioactive fallout can be carried by winds for miles. Remember the 3 protective factors: distance, shielding, and time. I mean, this is like one of the first times we've been talking about this sort of thing in years. You know, since the 1980s, the late 80s, the early 90s. The Soviet Union falls, the Berlin Wall comes down, and, well, we just don't seem to have to worry about nuclear warfare like we used to until now. 2017. This isn't 1977, it's not 1987, it's 2017. And here we are. This old problem that we all grew up with. At least I grew up with it. My daughter the other day said she was watching the news and they had this weird rocket thing. I'm not kidding you. She said they had this weird rocket thing. And I had to pause for a minute and figure out exactly what she was talking about. And I realized she was talking about nuclear missiles. They were showing video of nuclear missiles taking off. And she just thought of it as a rocket. And I had to go, how do I explain this to my 10-year-old now? We haven't had to have this discussion ever. So I explained that to her. Just what an awful thing to have to tell your 10-year-old. This is one of those things that when I was growing up, and when I was a young adult, and when I was an older adult, I always envisioned that we wouldn't be talking about this stuff again. That governments wouldn't be warning their citizens about radiation and missiles and shelters and telling them not to use conditioner because it'll bind radioactive material to your hair. So there you go. We're talking about missiles and radioactivity again. And it's 2017.